I can't really get anything done right now because my workshop is completely crowded with table saws. So here is my new old big cast iron table saw, and then there in the back is my old homemade table saw, and then here is my new homemade table saw. And that one is gonna be the subject of today's video. Since I had the big cast iron table saw, I've also wanted something a little bit smaller and a little bit more portable, like one of these job site saws, because this is not very portable. Nope. So I was shopping for one of these job site saws and they are all kind of, yeah, I don't know. And I got really annoyed and I thought, well, I might just build one. And that's exactly what I did. And to make this a little bit more of a challenge, I did not use one of my other table saws to build it. The table is made from phenolic resin coated plywood and it measures 70 by 100 centimeters. And the maximum depth of cut is about 7 centimeters. The table has only one miter slot because I really don't see the need for 2 miter slots. With the rib fence attached, it has a maximum rib capacity of 42 centimeters. For ribbing, I made this super simple and effective self-squaring rib fence. A lot of people seem to think that a good table saw fence must be clamped down in the front and in the rear, which I don't think is the case at all because there's rarely a lot of force applied sideways. But if I should need to, I can always secure this with an additional clamp. The blade can of course be lowered and raised, and it can also be tilted to up to 48 degrees. The throat plate is just a piece of plywood secured with a pin in the back. This one goes from 0 to up to 45 degrees. I left enough space for a riving knife, but on a saw that small I don't really need one. Yes, you're absolutely right. This saw tilts on trunnions. Trunnions are basically concentric guides with their center point right at the surface of the tabletop. So let's take a look at the inside, shall we? Here you can clearly see the trunnions that the saw tilts on, and the lead screw that pushes the motor unit to tilt. The motor is from a really powerful circular saw. I may put that cover on again for dust collection, but I'm not sure yet. For raising and lowering the blade, I made the motor go around a pin instead of in a straight motion, because this is not so prone to binding. The blade can't pull the motor up and lift on its own, and I think I came up with quite an interesting mechanism to do that. So what I will probably never do is add a scale to here, because I always use a steel ruler, and also to paint on a protractor here, because I always use the bevel box. But what I will definitely do is build a dedicated base for it, because this is just the base from some other machine and this is much too high. Also, I'm not so sure about dust collection, because right now this has no way of attaching it to a dust collector. I'm not sure if I will at all, because I could just let the dust settle inside of the machine and then clean it out from time to time. Now there are still a couple of minor things that I need to address, but other than that, this turned out so cool.